Hi, Chris from Crutchfield Tech here again today, talking about video camera wiring for backup cameras. A lot of confusion about these gizmos sometimes. Basically, a lot of cars don't come with backup cameras. People add them, and they get a little confused about the wiring. Camera goes in back of the car, obviously, backup camera, near the license plate or on the hatch, a few different places in the back of the car. We've got to get power to it. So, in our video cables that come with most of the cameras that we carry, there's a little wire that we refer to as a convenience wire. Basically what happens is we need the camera to get power. So it has a cable attached already, runs up into the car, and most of them will have this style where we're plugging together a connector, takes care of that portion of things, and then we've got some wires and what to do. Well, the black wire, as you're probably all familiar already, black wire is chassis ground, so we've got to get that grounded to the frame of the car somewhere directly. Scrape and clean, bolt that down. Don't hook it to the backup lamp wiring. We want it going to the frame. We want its own ground. The red wire needs to get 12 volts from somewhere, and there's a few different ways we can do that. One of the ways is at the back of the car, we can just go ahead and wire this directly to the hot wire going to our backup lamp. Now, that's fantastic if you only ever want to see the camera when your car is literally in reverse. Perfectly fine. That's a great way to go. So we do have this convenience wire in the video cable, and this is a point of confusion a lot of times. It's like, well, what do I do with this? One thing you can do is if you are connecting your power wire for your camera to a backup lamp circuit at the back of your vehicle, you can simply tie them together. Go ahead and solder, preferably, or use a proper kind of tap to connect that's going to get you your current flow needed into the backup lamp wire at the back of the car. You shift your car into reverse, this circuit's going to energize. Up at the other end, that red wire, we can then use that to trigger our stereo to flip over to the backup camera screen. All of the stereos that we carry will have an actual reverse gear trigger wire on the back of it. This wire has always got to be hooked up. If this isn't hooked up, your stereo's never going to know that you shifted your car into reverse. But if we tie that together like so, plug in our yellow video cable. In this scenario, we shift the car into reverse, the camera energizes, we get 12 volts all the way up through the cable, pops 12 volts into this purple wire on the back of this particular Jensen. This wire color may vary, check your manual. Shifts into reverse, we get a lovely backup camera screen image, and we can see what's behind the vehicle. Now, some people are going to want to have their camera on when they're headed down the highway. They might be towing something, or they might have something attached to the back end. You know, if you're going camping, you have gear or something. Something you might need to get a look at because you're concerned. You know, something falling off the back of your vehicle could be a bad thing. You know, something starts coming loose or whatever, that your backup camera would have a field of view of. So, in order to make the backup camera accessible to us while we are not in reverse, we're not going to want to wire the backup camera power wire to a reverse circuit, because obviously that only energizes if you've shifted into reverse. So to get power to this guy, we can use our convenience wire embedded in the video cable that we've run the length of the car, and we can send power from the front of the vehicle to the back of the vehicle. Convenience wire connection stays the same. We do not hook the wire at the back of the car to the backup lamp wire in this scenario. No need to have two different power connections going to our camera, okay? So we wire that up at the front of the car. Then what we're going to want to do is tie this in with regular switched 12-volt power. So a lot of harnesses that we carry, like this one for Ford Lincoln Mercurys, will have a switched 12-volt power wire provided in it. We wire that up to there. We also wire it up to the red on the back of the radio. We turn the key on. This machine comes on. The camera gets power, but we don't yet have the ability to see the automated backup camera. We still need to hook our trigger wire, our reverse purple, in this case purple with a white stripe on this particular head unit. We still need to hook this up to a backup lamp circuit in the car somewhere. So most cars, you can find it somewhere near the fuse box or over in a kick panel, various locations, and we in tech support can help you digging up that info if you don't receive it in your master sheet. But we'll usually point you in the right direction. Remember, the backup trigger wire always has to be triggered. Another scenario, obviously, is you don't even have to use this wire, right? This wire isn't necessarily mandatory. You can just hook up power and ground at the back of the car, power to the reverse lamp circuit back there, and up at the front, you can connect this reverse lamp wire right into a backup lamp trigger off of a fuse box, various things. That's not the way most folks go. Another scenario, different head units, a few of them, notably our Jensen line and our Boss line, actually have power wires on them dedicated for a camera. So when you are using one of those, the convenience wire is very handy still, because we can take the 12-volt camera power wire out of the back of the stereo, hook it to the convenience wire, sends 12 volts down through there for us, and provides power to the camera. So under that scenario, with these Jensens, we still, no matter what else we do, we still need to hook up the backup lamp trigger wire to a reverse circuit in the vehicle. So there's several different ways you can go about wiring up a camera. Of course, we here at Crutchfield can help you out with all of that. Of note, sometimes you'll find little loops on your backup camera wiring. Just a little something I wanted to touch on real quick. Here we have, with this particular Boyo camera, there is a wire labeled mirror and another wire labeled parking lines. So when they arrive, they are intact. They're not cut yet. The parking lines one allows the camera itself to generate parking lines through into your monitor for you on the video cable. Now, you may not want that because some head units will generate parking lines. You don't want two sets of red, green, and yellow lines floating around on the screen in front of you. It gets kind of busy and confusing. So you can snip this wire here, insulate the two ends of it, and allow the parking lines of the stereo to handle it for you. Or you can turn them off in the head unit. Most head units will have a menu option to turn those lines off. The other wire here, the other loop, the mirror loop, is in some situations you might want to take this camera and instead of using it as a backup camera, some head units give you the option to go ahead and use this as a front camera. Some folks will put a camera down low on the front of bigger vehicles, RVs, whatnot. In that case, we need to cut this wire so it flips the image so it looks correct on our monitor when we're staring at it. It looks like the real world at that point. Anyway, those are the loops. And they vary a little bit camera to camera, but most of them have that. You can choose how you want to use your gear, obviously. There's lots of different ways you can do it. And we're here to help at Crutchfield Tech Support. When you buy your gear from Crutchfield, just give us a holler. We'll be able to sort anything out if you're not quite sure. Hope today's little lesson on wiring has helped out. Check out our website, crutchfield.com. Give us a holler on the lines. We'll be glad to take care of you. Have a good one.